Hey, it's Andrea. And you know what? Come the holidays, the dressing that my family enjoys is a sticky rice one. No bread for us. You know what? Because banh mi is for another time of the year. We have sticky rice dressing that's filled with roasted chestnuts and shiitake mushroom, lots of butter, booze, and fresh herbs. And traditionally, it was made by steaming sticky rice and peeling fresh chestnuts. Well, that's very labor intensive. But I've been thinking of a more streamlined method, and I think I got it down. So come on into the kitchen and let's put it together. So we have our soaked shiitakes here, and I give them a squishy squeeze there to remove the liquid. I'm going to save this liquid for making the sticky rice for the dressing. And then we'll chop them. Typically, I will trim off the stems there before I chop them. But these stems are pretty small, so I'm just going to keep them. Chop them up, and let's deal with the rice. I've been playing around with steam microwaving the sticky rice instead of doing it on the stovetop. So this isn't the last time you're going to see me do this, but I think it's going to work out. So let's see what happens. This is long grain Thai sticky rice, and I've got the sticky rice in a large microwave safe bowl. I'm going to wash it now. So I've got some water in there. You just want to swish it around briefly, then so then you're going to re-weigh the rice, because the rice, you know, sucked up some water when you washed it. So set it back on the scale, make sure you tare the scale, and then add the rice that you just washed to the bowl. After that, I'm going to add some of the shiitake soaking water to it, and roughly, you know, my liquid to rice ratio is around like 3 parts liquid to 2 parts rice by weight. And then I'm going to add the balance in water. Then add some salt and then let it sit for 15-20 minutes. So while the rice is soaking, I'm going to prep a few other things. I'm going to go out to the yard and get some thyme. Look at that thyme. It looks like it had a bad hair day. But you know what? It needs some trimming. Go right in with my scissors. I need like a teaspoon or so. This guy, that guy. A couple of them. That's all it takes, huh? Just a little bit of thyme. My mom started putting thyme in our family's dressing because she just really liked the kind of woodsy smell. And she uses dry thyme, but I use fresh thyme. So then I steam the sticky rice in the microwave. Just going to put it in there, and I've got a 1200 watt microwave oven, and then I use one of these a dome lid that's supposed to be a splatter guard. It's a great steamer. I'm going to go for 3 minutes, and I steam the rice for 3 minutes. Then I take it out and give it a stir, and then I check on the rice, see what it looks like. So at this point, it's, you know, beginning to hydrate, and there it is. I'm just going to give it a stir with a spatula, then put it back in for another 3 minutes or so. All right, let's see what happened now to our sticky rice. Look at that. It has gotten quite soaked, right? Let's check it out on the counter so I'm not holding this super duper hot bowl. And at this point, the sticky rice has hydrated quite a bit. but it still needs to cook a little bit more. So I am going to just neaten it up and put it back in the microwave. Back you go. Top on. I love these steamer things. Just going to microwave it for another like 3 to 4 minutes or so. And this process is just slowly hydrating the rice in the microwave instead of a steamer. It's looking pretty good, right? Nice and soft. Hee hee, I think I did it. Sticky rice in the microwave. But it's not done, you want to just let it rest for a spell. Which means setting the sticky rice down. Because sticky rice kind of dries really easily, you want to just put a lid on it. Silicone lid is perfection for this task. So let's see what happened with the rice. So I went in and I fluffed it up and I felt like it was just a little like tad mushy. So I'm going to reduce the amount of water that I use in the recipe when I write it up. So look for that in the written recipe. But overall, it's pretty good. Can't believe it. Made it in the microwave without having to get out my steamer and all that. Yay! Let's cook off those chestnuts. I've got them in a pan with some butter here and over, pretty low, gentle heat. And give them a stir to coat the chestnuts with the butter and then add some broth to the pan. And you're just looking to refresh the chestnuts. Then drop in a little cilantro. I think my mom started using cilantro with chestnuts because, parsley wasn't her thing. She had a lot of cilantro though. And it goes beautifully with the chestnuts and the butter. So aromatic and sweet, a little spice note. And then you're just gonna, put the lid on it. And once that the most of the liquid has simmered off and penetrated the chestnuts, you're pretty much there. You can give it a taste, and then after that, just go ahead and scrape it into a bowl. There is no need to wash that skillet because all that good flavor, you want it in the dressing. So just go ahead and heat up the skillet and then add some more butter to it. About a couple of tablespoons or so. Then you're going to cook the onion or shallot and garlic in that butter till it's really nice and fragrant. Then add the walnuts in there for a nice toastiness. Use liver if you've got it from your bird of choice, and then just stir until things are pretty toasty and, kind of cooked through. I mean, the walnuts don't need that much cooking, but you understand what I'm talking about. Then add the pork and then, mush it around, press on it so that you break it up into small bits. And if you want a vegetarian option or a vegan option, look in the recipe towards the bottom where I have all those recipe endnotes from developing the recipe so that you see that there are ways to make it without the pork. Then at this point, you want to add the shiitake mushrooms that you chopped up earlier. And after you stir the shiitakes in to just get them nice and combine with the pork and the other aromatics, then you'll season it with the thyme and pepper and salt. Make sure everything gets in there and then, stir it around. Then let the mixture cool. So now you've got the base, it's cool. Then you're just going to put the sticky rice that we steamed in the microwave into the skillet. I put everything into the skillet because I don't like to wash dishes. And just start to kind of break things up with the spatula there. And, kind of do your best. But in all honesty, you're better off using your hands. After the rice, then mix in the booze. And again, your hands are the best tool for this. And keep breaking up the rice and blending in the liquor. Then after that, you know what? It's time to put those chestnuts that you work so hard, not really, right? To cook up and season. and work that in. And at this point, a spatula is fine because you don't want to really work the chestnuts too hard so that you break them up. A spatula can be used to fold the chestnuts in. Finally, cilantro, the rest of the cilantro that you didn't use at the front end for the chestnuts. So now mix that in. This time, you know what, I went back to my hands, a little easier, faster. So, disregard what I said earlier about using the spatula. You can go in back and forth if you like. And then that pretty much ends it, I mean, you're done at this point with the dressing because all you're going to do is put it into a baking dish and get it ready for the final cooking, which can be like 3 days later if you want. The final baking temps and all that are in the recipe. All right, so we bake it in a pretty hot oven and take it out and check to see if it's done. And what you're looking for in the doneness, and you'll notice that things have kind of like collapsed a little bit, it's very fragrant, are the grains on the edge. You want, to see that there's a tiny bit of browning. The top, like it says in the recipe, is not going to be brown. And at that point, you're pretty much done, and you just kind of like cover it up again and let it stay warm till serving time. Well, here it is, the sticky rice shiitake mushroom and roasted chestnut stuffing from my family to yours. It smells so good. It smelled great while it was being made on the stove, while it was baking, and it's going to taste even better once you start diving into it. I hope that you prepare this dish that my family has enjoyed for decades, and now it's a lot easier to prepare. Happy cooking!